a bit of a different face here doing the comprehension. Hello, everybody in year 4. This is your comprehension for today. So I'm going to read through the text for you, and if you would like to, you can read along as well. Army life. By the beginning of the 1st century CE, the Romans had conquered most of their empire. Now soldiers were kept busy guarding the borders of the conquered provinces and stamping out rebellions. Many of the wars at this stage were fought to stop outsiders from invading the provinces. Every legion was supported by non-citizen auxiliary soldiers who were usually recruited from conquered peoples throughout the empire. Catapult bolts. Soldiers used catapults to hurl darts and stones at the enemy. These are the iron tips from wooden darts, or bolts, as they used to be called. Here they are here. A province won. Julius Caesar conquered Gaul in the 50s BCE. This Victorian painting shows the defeated Gallic leader, Vercingetorix, entering the Roman camp to surrender his arms. Caesar is seated on the red platform in the distance. So this is the distance over there. An auxiliary soldier. Auxiliaries were used to guard and patrol the vast borders of the Roman Empire. Shield cover. Soldiers' wooden shields had a metal cover over the handle. This could be used to hit the enemy at close range. A Roman fort. Soldiers spent the winter months in stone or timber forts. Below is the rebuilt gate of a fort in England. The spoils of war. This ivory plaque shows weapons seized in war. Plunder from conquests helped to pay the troops and finance the splendour of Rome. The conquests also brought several million slaves to Italy. Scaly protection. Fabric shorts covered with bronze scales were a common type of armour. Barbarians. This wild entanglement of limbs, horses, and armour is a relief carving from a stone coffin. It shows Roman cavalry fighting northern barbarians. The artist gives a fine impression of the chaos of battle. Spearheads. Auxiliary soldiers used light javelins for throwing and heavier spears for thrusting at close range. These iron spearheads come from Dorset in England. The wooden shafts rotted long ago. Champing at the bit. Roman horse harnesses were similar to those of today. Leather reins and a bridle were linked to a bit which went in the horse's mouth. Harness fitting. This is one of a set of silvered harness fittings from Xanten in Germany. Cavalry spur. Riders used spurs attached to their shoes to urge their horses on. A parade. This carving shows legionaries and galloping cavalrymen. This legionaries sport crests on top of their helmets, just there. The cavalry. The auxiliary cavalry, or soldiers who fought on horseback, were highly paid because they had to buy their own horses. Most auxiliary cavalry came from Gaul, Holland, and Thrace, which is Bulgaria. The cavalry were the eyes of the army, patrolling ahead of the legions, guarding their flanks in battle and pursuing defeated enemies. So that was your text. Now, what I'm going to do is I'll leave, if you have a chance, you can screenshot or just have a little pause of the video to have a full picture of the page. And now what I'm going to do is give you access to the whole page for your comprehension that you can take a picture of or just have a little bit of a pause. Let me not be in the way of the vocabulary. Perfect. So I'm going to zoom in on every question just so you can have a nice little view of it. Question number 1. What does the word hurl mean in this sentence? Soldiers used catapults to hurl darts and stones at the enemy. So what does that word mean? Does it mean to catch, to give, to throw, or to break? So you have to tick just one of those definitions, not all of them, not just the one, you tick one of them. Now I can see the word hurl is mentioned in this paragraph here if you would like to have a read. Question number 2. Number these facts from 1 to 5 in the order in which they are found in the paragraph. The first one has been done for you. So they've already said that the first fact that comes up in the paragraph is the Romans had conquered most of their empire by the beginning of the 1st century CE. So what comes after that? The facts that you have to order are: soldiers were kept busy guarding the borders, the soldiers had to stamp out rebellions, every legion was supported by non-citizen auxiliary soldiers, the wars being fought now were stopping outsiders from invading the provinces. And the paragraph to look at is this one here. Question number 3. Which section of the extract explains who the soldiers on horseback were? Write the name of the section. So what you have to do is look at your whole piece of comprehension and find the section that tells you about it. So section meaning this could be one section, this could be another section, this could be a section. You know what the section is about based on the subheading. So the subheading could be scaly protection, for example, or catapult bolts, or an auxiliary soldier. So look at the subheadings and write down the subheading for the section that explains who the soldiers on horseback were. And you write that over here. Question number 4. The spoils of war could best be described as, is it items made by the Romans, items seized in war, food that was spoilt during war, or the men that spoilt the war plans? So remember, you're ticking just one. Only find one of those that best describes the spoils of war. And to see where it is, there is a section titled The Spoils of War that you can look at to help you. Lastly, question number 5. Can you explain what the shield covers were for? So over here is the section of it's the section that you need to answer question number 5. It's titled Shield Cover. So you have to just have a read of that and then explain in your own words what the shield covers were for. Now, some vocabulary to remember is retrieval. So retrieval means going back to the passage, reading the passage, and then taking information from there to answer your comprehension questions. Your answers, the answers to your questions are all in the passage, so you don't need to worry about having to do a Google search or having to really think hard to yourself. It should all be in the passage for you. It's just a matter of you finding it in the passage. You also have the keyword summarize, which means that you're not writing lots and lots of sentences. You're able to write about a lot of information, but in fewer sentences, in fewer words as well. You have inference, which means that when you read a piece of information, what do you understand from it? Can you tell me in your own words? And then lastly, you have explain, which is just talking about the answers to your questions and really sort of talking about them in a bit of detail, just to make sure that I know that you have understood the comprehension questions. On a final note, I'm so impressed by the quality of comprehension work I have seen by a lot of you. Some of you are writing the questions down, which I think is very helpful, because then when the teachers are looking at your answers, we're able to know exactly what you're answering, and it just helps for your work to be presented more neatly as well. So that's a really good tip. If you would like to write the question and then the answer underneath, you are more than welcome to do so. Make sure that you upload your work onto Tapestry for your teachers to have a look at and mark. Really take your time with these questions. If you feel like you are stuck on some of the questions, you can leave them, answer the ones that you do know straight away, and then go back to those questions, revisit them and see if you can answer them. So that is your comprehension task for today, Year 4. I hope you enjoy, and I will see you very soon.